Hey everyone, welcome back to Modlife Season 3, episode number 14. And since last episode, as normal, I've been pretty busy. Been doing some mining since last episode, done some Fortune 3 diamond hunting is what I've actually been up to. I've went ahead and did a little bit of landscaping around the house. Gotta say, it looks a lot nicer than what we left it last episode because, well, there was a gap underneath the house, and I just really did not care for that too much. There's still a little bit of a gap underneath the house if you actually look and find some fences back here. So you can kind of see I didn't really fill in all the way, but just kind of around the area, and I'll probably do a better job of it a little bit later on. Plus, we still have a lot of work to do left on the house. We got a lot of awesome new blocks to play around with, and I kind of see this just as a mere template because it looks really vanilla-ish. The moment, so, and it has intended for that village. So for me though, we're gonna do some work to it later on once we get some more tools and some more materials. Got some pretty cool ideas in store. We even got some other like fences. We got carpenter's fences. We have things like dark oak fences, spruce fences, birch fences. We can change up the chimney, make it look a little bit nicer instead of using bricks. Whole bunch of stuff. Even the windows. We could change the windows, even the doors, man. We got a whole bunch we can do to this place. But, like I said, we're going to work on that a little later on. I've also been doing some other stuff around the area. Mainly, well, you can see we got ourselves a great oak forest in the midst back there. I've also, well, if you guys remember, we had a structure here. This is, well, kind of like our first home in a sense, where we just kind of hid ourselves away from the rest of the world. It was pretty much on this level of dirt, but I went ahead and cleared that out since last episode, and decided to go ahead and leave the meteor shield here for the time being. So this is our mining shaft and all that stuff, and if you guys can't tell, something's a little different about our meteor shield here. Well, take a look. Last few episodes, I want to say, was it 2 or 3 episodes ago? Something like that. We were out hunting for meteors and then found that roguelike dungeon. Yeah, we also found some of these guys, the red meteor gems. I went ahead and placed these guys inside just to kind of, make sure and see what all it actually did. And I come to find out this is exactly what it does. It expands its range, and that's pretty much all it does. Whoa! I don't think I shift clicked that in yet. That was loud. So we pretty much had to put in, I believe that was the raw meteoric iron, and then 4 red meteor gems, and that brings us up to a power level of 5 out of 5, which gives us a range of 320 blocks. Now, I didn't put this in there. This is freezerite crystal, and I believe this actually blocked a meteor that was incoming in the area that it was protecting, and so it just went ahead and placed it inside of the meteor shield here. So that's really awesome, and I'm hoping we get some really nice meteors falling very, very soon. Meteor gods, if you don't mind. Wink, wink. I think it'd be kind of nice. Wouldn't mind playing some more with some of the other meteors and stuff. So anyways, guys, if you do remember, and this is kind of how I makeshifted this up in here for the time being. Like I said, we're going to fix this place up, and I think that's exactly what we're going to start working on today because, well, when we set up the Ancient Warfare 2 storage warehouse system, it kind of had a few problems with it. I let Teddy know, and he, I'll be getting back with him a little bit more with that here in the near future, and hopefully that'll get fixed maybe through the mod maker or whatever problem it may be. But in the meantime, I would like to continue working on our storage and sorting system because it's just necessary. And once you have some sort of storage and sorting system, it just makes you feel so much more happy inside, so much more warm and snuggly and stuff. So let's get started. What I want to do is I want to jump into some logistics pipes. I have not touched on this mod in a very, very long time. I had to do a little bit of brushing up on it, actually. So what do we need to do? What do we need to do to get started? Well, there's actually quite a few different ways, and by that, two different ways. Well, we can go through, do some really basic stuff, and as far as like crafting some of them, we do have a couple different ways. You'll notice that there's 2 different types of recipes to produce the same thing here. So we got the golden chipset or a gold gear. Everything else is the same. and it does require some diamonds. So this is why I went out diamond hunting, obviously, one of the reasons right there. And each time you do it, you get a basic logistics pipe. If you see this here, it says routes items around the network, put specific types of items into chests, and can be a default route. And if we go through here, we can see that it has a whole bunch of like crafting recipes. It changed a lot of other pipes back into basic logistic pipes. But I'm thinking for now, because we don't have an assembly table, we don't have the lasers, which is going to require a lot of obsidian, but I did collect some obsidian since last episode, if you guys want to see. Boop, right there. I might wind up using that for something else here in the very, very near future. Possibly, you know what? We'll probably just do that today anyway. So let's see, where was we at? Right here? So yeah, that does require a lot of obsidian, but I do want to do that here in the future, but it does require a decent amount of power, which we do have, a fair bit of power, but I don't know if that's going to be enough to do everything I want. Hi, Fred. How you doing? The only downside I'm having this forest over here is that it does spawn mobs, so we gotta be very careful, especially when night cometh, because, yeah, I'm actually a little, I really don't want to be outside when, night falls, and I really don't want to stay in here and just let it be night outside, because I'm afraid that those skeletons are gonna mortar the house, or the water wheel, or I don't know, our food source, something, and possibly destroy our blaze farm, which we're going to be setting up here in the future. So, yeah, I've been trying to make sure we sleep through the night every chance I get. So, what do we need to do to actually get started with logistic pipes? All right, well, there's the soldering station, which is pretty easy to craft, and I'm going to go ahead and jump into that in here in just a minute. We also have the logistics power junction. So we do need to have a power system for our logistics pipe. I don't think it actually uses an immense amount of power, but we do have other things like the crafting abilities and stuff like that. And I think there's going to be some really amazing things that logistics pipes are going to be able to do for us that the actual warehouse that we had probably won't. So let's go ahead and start on some more logistics pipes while we listen to some dying blazes outside. So let's see. We do want to go ahead and craft some basic ones, and these are actually usable with Buildcraft. In fact, I believe you actually have to have Buildcraft installed in order to use logistics pipes, unless they've changed that since the past. So I'm not 100% sure on that, but I remember that being a thing. So let's go ahead and see. What do we got? We got some gold. Let's get some gold out. We got some diamonds. Grab some diamonds, and what else are we gonna need? Some redstone, some cobblestone transport pipes, and I cannot wait until we get this system functional, because this is a mess. And I'm tired of seeing just chests laying around everywhere, so we're gonna try to get that fixed, and I think we might even try a different form of chest. In fact, we might try something maybe a little bit better. So let's get some of these guys made up. In fact, can we? You're not switching to the iron form of that, which I'm not really too pleased about. But I do know logistics pipes do require quite a few gold gears. Now, this way is a little bit more expensive as far as resources to make your basic logistics pipes. This one's more, the way I would put it, is less resource expensive and more power expensive, because you actually have to craft the golden chipsets with your whatever power source you actually have. If you have a really good power source, then it's probably not a problem for you, and it'd probably be better and faster to do it that way. Not sure. Just depends on your setups. So I'm going to go ahead and craft up 12 of those guys, because I know we're going to be needing those. And let's see if we can't get ourselves some sticks. I think what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to go through real fast. I'm going to see about just getting some basic things crafted up, like these cobblestone pipes and stuff like that real quick. And that way we have more time to set up our logistics network here in a minute. So we'll be back in just a second after a little bit of crafting. Alright, guys, and we're back. So I got some obsidian pulverizing up in our pulverizer. Let's go ahead and yank that out. We're going to toss it into our induction smelter, and what are we doing? Well, we're going to make some more hardened glass, because I want to do a little switching around. I really don't want to use the basic chests, even though they kind of look nice in my opinion, but I wouldn't mind going into Thermal's expansions strong boxes. These are really fun to mess around with, and they're pretty nice. As you can see, we got the basic form here. This is just a regular strong box, which is just some tin around chest. Now, unfortunately, I really don't have a whole lot of tin at the moment. I probably got some more sitting out there, but I really just don't have a lot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to craft up this guy first, then we're going to upgrade them. So we got 6. They don't stack. It's a little bit of a downside, but the upside is that they actually, well, besides the fact they really don't have much inventory, they do retain their inventory. You can break them, pick it up, and, well, if you hold shift over an item, one of the strong boxes, it'll tell you the contents of that strong box. So place it down, pick it up, and take our items out. So that's pretty nice in that sense if we really do need to move stuff around. Now we can upgrade that even further with a little bit of Invar. So we should have a little bit of Invar. We really don't have a whole bunch of this just sitting around, but once the hardened glass is done, we will go ahead and make some more Invar. We can just take some nickel and some iron and place it right inside of this guy, which, yep, that's what we're going to do right now. We'll just do that, and that'll get us going some of that. So in the meantime, let's go ahead and make us one hardened strong box. Fortunately, we got to click these in there because they will not shift click down you. The cool thing is we can also place them between other chests and stuff. So really, really nice there. Obviously, it doesn't really have a whole lot of storage. Now we can continue upgrading this with the hardened glass from thermal expansion into the 3rd tier version, the reinforced strong box, which almost kind of resembles the initial strong box. So this has got even more space. This is like the size of a normal double chest. But what we can do is actually increase it a little more. What you can do is you can enchant these strong boxes, and what you can get is a enchantment called Holding on there. And the higher enchant of Holding you get, the more inventory space that will open up for it. So I do want to do some of that enchanting in the near future. Just right now, I don't really have a whole bunch of experience. Don't even have an enchanting area set up. So that is on the to-do list, I think. It probably wouldn't be a bad idea, actually, to set up that blaze farm almost as an experience farm as well, because experience would be something really, really nice to have, I think. So let's go ahead and finish crafting up these fellas. We should be able to just do this, clickety click, 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 and we'll make up all of these to the reinforced version of the strong box because, well, it looks pretty nice, right? I think it looks pretty good at least. So we'll do you, and I went ahead and crafted up a few other things. I went and got some paper. I went ahead and crafted up some gears and all that other stuff. And I think we're ready to go, guys. Let's do it. All right, we're going to put that up for now. Some of this other stuff we don't really need. Pulverized obsidian we don't really need at the moment. And I'm pretty sure we will not need any Invar. So what we're going to do is we're going to pick up our strong boxes, and we're going to start placing these guys, I think back here along this back wall. We might even come out a block or two, maybe something like this, right? We'll pick up that guy. That way we have a little bit of space to work with around this back wall. Even might come out one more block just for the sake of doing this. So let's do this. We're going to line these guys up in a line for the time being. Now we're probably going to need a lot more actual storage than what we actually have currently set up here, but I'm just going to close the door. Don't mind me. Come on, door, close. I don't want Creeper coming inside and creeping on me. That's the last thing we want. All right, so let's head back over to logistics pipes. Now that we got some other storage set up, we need a way to transfer our items into the storage. So let's do that. Now, the kind of like the command block for the whole system is, I would say this right here, the logistics power junction, because this is what's going to actually allow the entire system to run. It's what supplies power to the system, even all of the pipes and other items that need it. So what we're going to need is, well, some basic stuff. Let's get it. Bam. Done. Easy. I like it when it's that way. I can't help it. All right, so what do we want to do? We want to probably put this guy, let's set him, we'll put him one more block forward. Now, I'm not too sure how I'm going to try to make this place look at the meantime and stuff like that. At the meantime, yeah, right? I'm actually curious as to whether or not we can use these connectors as well. I think we can. I think we can. I'm hoping we can. I do want to change up the way the power actually moves around in the warehouse here, but it looks like it's working just fine, and I like the way that sounds. Oh yeah, check it out. This is actually kind of cool. I feel safe in here. I really do. I really feel very safe. I'm not gonna lie. I don't even know why. All right. So, anyways, we got that guy set up, and what we want to make is, well, apparently this can actually interact with Buildcraft pipes as well. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to make, actually we don't need to make them because if I'm not mistaken, we should actually have some around here. I kind of forgot. We should have some gold pipes around here somewhere. Where did I put them? Some gold transport pipes. Oh, there, right there. Found them, got some, dids it. All right, we got some golden transport pipes. Now, what do we want to do? We want to actually make up some other pipes. We have the basic logistics pipes. This is one of the other items we want to make up. So let's make up some diamond transport pipes. I'm going to make up 2 sets of these for now, just to get us started and flowing. We are going to need some redstone torches. Let's get, we'll say 8 of those guys for now. And we should be able to craft this. There we go. Some basic logistics pipes. Let's get, why not? Let's get a full stack of basic logistics pipes. So these are pretty awesome. Check it out. So once we actually connect this up, you can see it had some little glimmer on there and all that good stuff. And you can see, well, it looks, oh well, power's actually doing pretty good. Well, I say that. It's going up rather slowly, but it does give you all of your conversions in here. The actual system that this uses is LP, so this is logistics power, basically. That's its unit it uses, but it does transfer over from RF or EU from industrial craft, which we don't have, so shouldn't have to worry about that too much. But let's see. Let's go ahead and connect up this. You can see it actually connects, and I think that looks really nice, actually. We should be able to do something like this, and yeah. Now we got to hook it up to the chest. Now, we could do that, right? But that's not going to serve any purpose whatsoever, really. Honestly, it won't. What we actually have to do is place a different type of pipe there. Well, at least a chassis. This is what I'm going to do. We could do a Mark 1. And as you can see, if you hold shift over, it says it can hold 1 module. And as we go up, it holds even more modules. On the Mark II, it holds 2 modules. I cannot talk tonight. I don't know why. But we go up to the Mark IV, which holds 4 modules. And the Mark V jumps up to a whopping 8 modules. There's a lot of other pipes and modules that we can actually use. And we're going to get into some modules here in just a minute. Thus, all of the paper. So let's see what we got to do. Well, the way I want to set this up, and there's probably some other ways to do it now that there's some newer versions of logistics pipes out, but I'm going to do it not the easy way, my way, the way I want to do it. And I'm going to do it this way. Mark II, so we just need some iron and our basic logistics pipes. So I'm going to craft up those 7 because, well, we're going to need them. Sounds like it's nighttime. I hear the blazes spawning outside, so I'm going to go and sleep through the night. I'm kind of using that as my bed timer. Because as soon as they start spawning, it's literally, it's nighttime. Plus, we got that there. Hi, Fred. If you come through that door, I'm going to be very upset with you. But I feel very safe in here, so we're all good. All right, so let's head up this guy. So it looks like he's doing pretty good. I'm assuming, yep, it looks good. So it looks like this is actually connecting to the other pipe. So if we take a look here, you can see this is green, right? If we pick this up, it turns red because it doesn't have any other part of the network it's connected to. So once we place this back down, you can see the green. It makes it all happy. Everyone's happy now. We can actually, communicate with the rest of the network. So with that being said, how do we access the said network? All right, well, let's craft up something real quick. Let's get ourselves a logistics request table. This guy is the definition of pure awesomeness. Unfortunately, it looks like we are going to have to make ourselves some diamond chipsets for this. But we can also just kind of cut away from that for the time being, and we can just use something like this. The logistics... No. What was it called? Statistics. Wasn't there like an... Wait a minute, hold on a second. Oh, wait. It might have been the request pipe. I think we can use the request logistics pipe. Yeah, let's give that a whirl. And we should be able to access the network and see what is actually in the network by using this. Fred, you're getting on my nerves, man. So you can see it was red for a second and then it flashed green. So if you right click on this, you can see it's flashing and sparkling and all that stuff. Shift right click. It does nothing. Why? Because, well, we need a wrench. We need to craft some sort of wrench for this. Now, any wrench should work, I presume. We got the crescent hammer. We also got the wrench from calculator, which looks really cool. That looks like something I would have fun with. Maybe I should make that? Let's make the crescent hammer just because we know what that is, right? Well, let's go ahead and get ourselves a little bit more iron. And I believe we're going to need another piece of tin. And we'll quickly craft us up a crescent hammer. So let's right click on our request logistics pipe and you can see there's nothing in the system. All right, well, let's go ahead and place something in there. Let's place some cobblestone. So if we right click on this with a wrench now, oh, hello, there's nothing in there. Well, that's because we don't have any modules set up. So we need to craft up a couple modules. One module that I want to set up, and that's why we have the Mark II chassis, because we can actually set up two. Let's head back over to Logistics Pipes, and we should see some modules right here. This is what the modules look like, and you can place these inside of your actual logistics pipes. I don't know if we can actually place any in the basic ones. No, it's like the requested items and stuff. All right, so let's see. Well, if we want to actually, you know, pull items out of a chest, we need it to provide items for us or for some other reason. So with that, we're going to want to make ourselves the provider module. Now, where is that at? I can't remember what it looks like because I'm trying to remember. There it is, the provider module. Now, there's a couple different versions. We got the Mark II and the first one. Now, I'm assuming this one's actually just a little bit better. It might transfer more or faster, possibly, and that's generally how they work. So we're gonna need a blank module. Let's go ahead and craft up a whole bunch of these because these are gonna be necessary for like pretty much everything we're gonna be doing. So we'll just craft up a whole bunch. And as far as this is, what do we need? Redstone? I think that's exactly what we need. Let's get some more redstone. Bam, love it. There we go. And we'll grab ourselves our, wait, what are we missing now? We got that. Oh, wait, hold on. Wait, no. We need that guy. Seriously? What are we missing? Redstone? Oh, lapis. Duh. You guys yelling at me. Stop yelling. You know what you're doing. So there we go. We got our provider module. We're going to take this and we're going to place this by right-clicking on our chassis with our wrench. And that gives us access to it because otherwise we can't do that, right? So we can right-click on this all we want. We're not going to access it. We actually have to access it with our wrench. And then with that, we'll take the provider module and place that in one of the slots. You can see it has a little exclamation point button right there, and it tells you that, well, this is a provider module. So let's click that, and it tells you some other options of what you can do. You can include and exclude certain items. You can set like a filter, and then like switch basically allows you to set up your inventory inside the chest, and that's what we do want to do. I do want to do that, so I want to switch this. It says you can leave a stack, you can leave the first and last stack of an item, you can leave one item per stack, or one item per type. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to set it to leave one item per stack, and I might eventually set it up to leave one stack in there at a time. And let's see, so we got 56 cobble in there. Let's right click on this now, and whoa, wait, 55 cobble? Well, that's because this guy right here is saying, or actually this guy right here is saying we're supposed to leave one of those items in this chest. So it subtracts one automatically, and well, we can sit here and add, you know, we'll add up to 10, and we'll say we want 10 pieces of cobblestone, and that's all we got to do is hit request. And there you go. Requested 10 cobble from your system. This system is going to be pretty amazing. I cannot wait until we get this entire thing set up. So we want to pretty much just set this up like so and continue all these chassis here. We want to get some more chests and everything else. Another thing we can do is set up the sorting. So that's basically like the providing aspect of this whole part. And I'm going to get into a little bit more of this probably next episode. But I do want to set up the actual request table here, because this is like the pure amazement of what logistics pipe actually is. And unfortunately, we're going to need the diamond chipsets. So we should be able to set something small and basic up for that in just a little bit. We'll probably do that next episode. So let's go ahead and finish setting up some more of this logistics pipes. This is the other item that we want, at least that I'd like to use, the polymorphic item sync module. This is going to help me sort and organize our system a lot nicer. We also have the item sync module, so let's give that a try too. I do have some, I believe, cactus green cooked up. Yes, ready to go. Let's see what the item sync module does. We'll pull one of those guys out for the time being, and let's go ahead and pull our wrench over, right click on this guy. Actually, let's do this one. We'll set it up on you. So item sync module, we'll click this to see what we can do. So we can set this as the default route. What is the default route? Well, if an item doesn't have anywhere else to actually go within a network, it goes to the default route. If there's not one set up, it won't go there. It won't go anywhere if it doesn't have a home. So we do want to set up a default route at some point. And let's see, request items. Well, I think what we can do is, if I'm not mistaken, we could set up that. And in just a minute, we can set up a chest that'll actually export items from the chest and sort them into our system. I'm assuming that's what that one does. Just going to throw out an idea. So what do we want to do to extract items into our actual logistics network? We want a extractor module. There's a couple different kinds. We have the advanced version, we have a regular extractor one, and then we have the Mark II versions of them and the Mark III versions of them. Let's see, let's do the advanced extractor because I'm a little unfamiliar with this one. So let's go ahead and see what all it entails. Let's see, advanced extractor. So we're going to need this. What are you doing? What are you doing? Iron gear, lapis. Always needs the lapis. Why? You're always needing lapis for something, I know. There we go. So we got our extractor module. Let's go ahead and add in a redstone and we'll make the advanced extractor module. And as far as I'm concerned, let's set up another chest here. And I think we can get away with setting up a basic logistics pipe here, I'm assuming. No. We need a chassis there, I'm pretty sure. If we do it this way. Oh, wait, we already had a chassis. Here, you can have that back. There we go. And we got a Mark II chassis there. So let's go ahead and click on this guy now. Unfortunately, what's happening here? This doesn't look right, right? So if we right click on this with our hand, with our bare hand, it's red, which means it's not connecting to the system for some reason. This is weird, right? I don't know. Something just doesn't seem right. I think what it is that we need to break this pipe here and set ourselves up with a basic logistics pipe. Oh, is that what it was? Or does it always glow red? I think it might always glow red. But I'm pretty sure we actually needed a basic logistics pipe up here anyway, because this is a junction that splits multiple ways, right? So we need it to sit here and intelligently route the items, right? So if we didn't have this here, there might be a chance that it just floats somewhere else, and we don't want that. We want it to actually say, hey, we go through here, and at this junction, we need to go this way, or do we need to go this way? And that's what this block actually does when we have multiple routes from a junction here like that. So, all right, we have that set up. Logistics there, Mark II, right click on him. Let's place in our extractor module, and let's see what we have. So we got sneaky, what is this? Whoa, hello. Defaults, north, up, down, east, west, something or another. I'm thinking this might actually be for blocks and machines that might need a specific side to extract from. So I'm thinking that might be what that is, because I have not seen that one before. So let's go ahead and poke around with it. It should still work, because it's just a chest, right? Let's see what happens when we place some redstone in here. Is it going to do anything? Maybe not. Alright, well let's see what just maybe a basic one will do. Let's see if the basic one will work, because I could be a little wrong on the item sync module. Because like I said, guys, I haven't touched logistics pipe in a long time, and a lot of stuff has probably changed since I've touched on them last. So let's do that. Okay, let's do this. No? Whoa, what was that? Oh, something went somewhere, and I'm assuming it went right into there. Check it out. I'm guessing that worked just the way we intended it to, actually. So, there we go. We got it set up to import requested items, and that's where it knows it's supposed to go. All right, that's pretty cool. But as you can see, it's going pretty slow. And so let's do something else. We could do, let's see, maybe, basic. I think if we break this one, let's do an example real quick. We'll set this guy up here. We right click and we set this up to a default route. Say for instance, we don't have a default route, right? Let's set that to no for now. Make sure nothing's in there. And let's place something else in there, like gold, right? Our redstone's almost done transferring, and don't worry, there's actually a way we can speed this up. We're gonna do that probably in just a minute. We're gonna upgrade some stuff, and we're probably gonna try to make this a lot faster for us. So last piece of redstone, a block is gonna be transferred out into our strong box here. But unfortunately, I don't think the gold has anywhere else to go. The gold's just gonna sit there. Okay, so what do we gotta do? If we don't have a home for it, let's set up a default route. So if we set up a default route, as you can see it lit up like that, I'm assuming it should pull itself out over there and make its way into this chest. So that is really nice. So if we have some items, unsorted items for our network, we'll have a default chest where they'll all go, and we'll find a proper home for them. So guys, this is just kind of like a basic rundown. I really wanted to run over this. I know it's more of like a tutorial lesson or something like that, but we're gonna set this up more at next episode because we really want to get into it a little more and play with this guy. This is the big daddy right here, Logistics request table. Plus, I think I'm going to need a little bit more obsidian for what I'm gonna want to do. Possibly? No, we might have enough actually. Yeah, we might be good. Plus, I gotta do a little bit of inventory cleaning up, but what I'm gonna do probably between this episode and next is a little bit of crafting of the items that we've already crafted today and get ready for next episode, because next episode, that's where the fun happens. So anyways, guys, I want to say thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you guys think. If you guys have any helpful tips, tricks, or comments, feel free to put them in the comment section down below. If you guys would rate the video, I'd greatly appreciate it. And until next time, we'll see you guys then. Goodbye.